there are claims that political forces or a third force could be behind this recent violence. We're joined now by the Ekurhuleni AIC Executive Committee member, Reverend Mxolisi Koom. Reverend Koom, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. These allegations of a third force, of course, they came first from the Ekurhuleni Mayor, Tanya Campbell, and today we see further statements from the ANC supporting such a statement, that they believe there's a lot more than meets the eye to these protests. Your view?
Thank you very much for inviting me, and also let me greet your viewers and then tender our profuse apology to the families that lost their loved ones in the process of democratization, centralism of our people. Secondly, in response to your question, I don't want to be part of aspersions. I would have liked that there should have been a process of social analysis to establish whether these violences have got a third force. So I cannot vouch for what I cannot prove. But what I can say evidently is that the processes that are engaging communities in the current dispensation of democratization needs to be reviewed in the context of a people-centered government, where before whatever legislation should be executed must enjoy a broader spectrum of the consultative forum of the community so that they are part of the decision. Case in point is that the current administration, apparently there was a motion that was moved in the Council of Ekurhuleni, which part of the other political parties which are forming part of the AIC, as in coalition, if you get what I mean, didn't pass that motion with the conviction that it would be disingenuous to embark on increasing tariffs at the current moment, given the current environment of economic rock-up, so to speak. You understand? So where I'm sitting, the current administration was insensitive towards the communities. So
my understanding, though, is that there was a recommendation coming out of Treasury already in 2019 warning about the sustainability of this initiative by the Ekurhuleni municipality to give residents, these free 100 units. And it is something that was no longer financially sustainable or viable for the municipality. And that all that this current administration has done is that they have complied with that recommendation from Treasury.
Correct. You see, what you have to draw lines, Kathy, is the year in which that pronouncement was made. The prevailing circumstances were not there. So it calls for you as a leader to be socio-political aware, so that you are able to marry the passing of whatever legislation with the practicalities that are bedeviling the society. Because you need both. You need, the society is your political capital. Mm-hmm. It's your political capital because these people are the people that have voted you. And these people are the people that are bringing the revenue into the public purse. So if you don't treat them as client, as the business language says, the customer is a king, political as well, you are doomed to fail. So the best thing the current government or the current administration in Ekurhuleni should have done was, before the implementation of whatever was passed whenever, in whatever corner, was to make sure that they have engaged the communities at large. I mean, all stratas of the community, non-political, religious, you see, NGOs, and whatever the strata.
And I think that's a fair criticism.
Yes.
But if we're being honest with ourselves, this is information that is not only available to a select group within council. All members of council would have been privy to this information. So therefore, other political parties could well have campaigned around the issue if they felt that this was an important enough matter to keep fighting against in council.
No, you are correct. Look, Kathy, what happens is that the political dispensation, whether we like it or not, it's coalition. There's no winner takes it all. That's where we should start. So in that kind of a political environment, you then need a political allegiance that you can rely upon to broker for whatever message to the community that you can in an honest epitome of honesty.
But surely that allegiance doesn't mean that if we take a party like the AIC, it doesn't mean that you are prevented from raising something that you know is going to affect the community that also forms part of your constituency.
Correct.
So nothing stopped the AIC from beginning a campaign with the community against what it knew was happening in council.
Correct, you are correct. This is a numbers game. Do you understand? So when the people voted whatever powers that day, that's what they are getting. That's why as AIC we are a people-centered party. That is out of question. You know how we came into the political space. It was as a result of the same commotion, if you remember. So what happens is that with our little voice, we speak, we engage people, we make people aware that there's a possibility of such implementations. And then the onus rests now with the powers that be, their discretionary of wisdom, whether whatever they've passed in whatever corner is applicable. So the political dynamics are not in a manner that you would like them to be, because it's a coalition space. It's very volatile, if you get what I mean. So what I can say as AIC, we encourage public protest within the decorum of democracy.
What happens now, because clearly this protest has not been within the limitations of democracy. We've had people killed, we've had property destroyed.
Correct.
I mean, I think up to about 30 municipal vehicles that have been burned.
Correct.
That is criminality.
Correct. No, that's fine. That's why we are urging our people in whatever a predicament they were induced to act, because this is a pretext, if you get what I mean. You have outlined it in your preamble that the economic space is burning, is lethal, so to speak. So people are reacting on the economic space, actually, because this issue is squarely on the economic space, because the spending of the people has been narrowed. And it's even worse when you take out the free usage policy from them. You see? It's even worse. It's being disingenuous. You understand?
Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. Reverend Mxolisi Koom, thank you for coming into studio. He's an Ekurhuleni member of the AIC Regional Executive Committee.
Yes.